Hi there! Welcome to my second video where I'm going to create a look using the Haus Laboratories Stupid Love palette. This look will be a warm metallic smoky eye, perfect for our upcoming at-home festive season. I've already done my skincare. I'm going to just throw in some contacts and then start with a base for my eyeshadows. After my last video using the Stupid Love palette, and also after using the palette just on my own, I do find that the shadows, especially the metallic and glitter ones, perform best with a base. So today I'm going to try this NYX eyeshadow base, which I haven't used too often, but it seems similar in tone and texture to the Urban Decay Primer Potion, but I can't speak to its efficacy beyond that. And then just to even out the skin tone of my eyes, I will then put just a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape on top of that. And this is the shade Fair Beige. This is going to be a bit of a departure from my last video using this palette. And, you know, for me in general, it was the colors on the left side of this palette that really drew me to it. Those really cool blue purpley ones, but I'm going to challenge myself with the dark side, aka the warm side of the palette here that I'm attempting to show you. Now, the first shade I'm going to use is this baby pink shade, which is called Plastic Doll, that I attempted to point out there. And I'll take this shadow with a MAC 217 brush to do a quick wash all over the lids and up towards the brow bone. So this shade will help to set the concealer in the eyeshadow base, and will act as like the lightest shade or the kind of transition shade for the other colors that I'm going to blend into it. So that's just going all over the eye with this kind of fluffy brush. I'll then take 911, which is the matte flat white, to lightly place just on my brow bone as a highlight color. Next I'm going to grab probably my all-time favorite brush from Real Techniques, the Powder Blue B04 brush, and I'm going to start placing and then blending that shade there, which is called Stupid Love. It's going to go through my crease and up the socket towards the brow bone, and I want this shade to be visible with my eyes open, but also like very soft and well blended. This is really the smokiness of the smoky eye. And this is a really beautiful shade. It kind of reminds me of the reddish metallic shade from the Charlotte Tilbury Dolce Vita eyeshadow palette, if you're familiar. And it's a dark color, but once you work with it and blend it out, it's very soft and blendable. And it is a matte color, but when you blend it out, it does leave a bit of a sheen on the skin. It's kind of hard to describe. I do like this finish. I don't mind this quality in a matte eyeshadow, as it keeps it from being too chalky or powdery. And once I've got enough of this color down, I will take my MAC 217 that had those lighter shades on it and go around and blend to make sure there are no harsh edges. Now, it is not lost on me that this color named Stupid Love should absolutely, like, it absolutely should have been a super bright hot pink. I really love the colors in this palette, but I agree with a lot of the people that were quite shocked when it was released that it didn't actually have a pink other than that shade Plastic Doll. Maybe the eyeshadow quad she just released would? Let's investigate, shall we? But you know what I mean, right? the Stupid Love palette should have a color called Stupid Love that matches all the pink artwork and costumes and music video that has that hot pink in it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, this is what I'm thinking of. Right there, right there, right there. Yeah. Ooh, look at that citrine color. Okay, move that bitch. Maybe that's it. I don't know. It's getting there. You know, when I first heard the song Stupid Love, even though I knew it was called Stupid Love, I thought the chorus was saying, I want just to be loved. Not, I want your stupid love. And I was like, duh, yeah, me too, Gaga. Anyways, and we're back. So now I'm going to take this shade called Babylon. Babylon. And I'm going to use a smaller brush. This is the Real Techniques shader brush, one of my faves as well. And I'm going to focus this eyeshadow on the outer corner of my eye, in that little V shape there, to add some depth and darkness. I think this is one of the nicest, most easy to use colors in this whole palette. It's creamier and more opaque than some of the other metallic, shimmery shades. Some of the other really shiny, glittery shades are super beautiful, but are best applied with a finger. Maybe like a flat, dense brush. But this Babylon shade works great any way you apply it. It's also just like a really wearable, bronzy, coppery shade that pairs well with those other warm shades around it. And I'm going to use whatever's left on that little shader brush just to drag it along the outer corner of my lower lash line. One of those colors that I mentioned that are best applied with the fingers is Sour Candy. God. Which is this beautiful pinkish red, very high shine color that I'm going to place with my finger over the center of my lid so that it's the most visible. And so you can see here, even though I did put the concealer and eyeshadow base underneath, I realized that this color would have even further benefited from maybe a darker or stickier base. I'm just realizing now I have something in my collection that would have worked really well, which is the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Pomegranate Punk. Oh well, next time, y'all. So I will blend over those metallic shades with my big fluffy brush just to make sure there aren't any harsh edges, and then reapply them for a little more intensity, because you lose a little bit when you blend around them. In general, I love this kind of color for a smoky eye, this reddish, pinkish, bronzy-ish, coppery-ish color. It's dramatic, but it's not too dramatic like a black smoky eye. And I mean, I think it really brings out that little bit of green that I have in my eyes. Okay, so I'm gonna just put a little bit more of the Plastic Doll Pink and then the 911 White into the inner corner of my eye as a subtle matte highlight. There's enough shimmer going on the lid that I thought I could just keep the inner corner matte. Going to curl my lashes with my Shu Uemura eyelash curler, and then I'm gonna just leave the eyes for now and then move on to my base. So first off, I'm going to use a much loved but often forgotten product, this Estee Edit, RIP, Radiance Activator. I really love this product as a glowy primer and also to add some more moisture to my skin. I find that when I do my eye makeup first, I need to kind of re-up my skincare a bit, because the skincare I put on earlier has sunken in and gone away, and I need a bit more. Just fixing my roller to keep my hair out of my face while it's drying. And I'm going to dust off another old favorite, and that is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I know! I'm fancy sometimes. So it's an excellent foundation, and I think it's also a really great color match for me. I find that I'll often use this shade in online foundation finders, if you've ever come across those, for selecting a shade of foundation in another brand. And I think technically I could go down a shade to number 2, especially over the winter. But this foundation is a sheer to medium coverage, and I like the undertone of shade 3. I'm dotting that all over my face with my fingers, and then we'll blend out with my beauty blender. This is the best way I've found to apply this foundation. I almost thought I wasted a ton of money when I first bought it because I was struggling with applying it. It just wouldn't look right with a brush or my hands. But with a sponge, she's great. Okay, so some exciting news for my brows. I'm going to use this brow hack that I learned from Alana Davidson. There it is. And that's to use this Got2b gel through my brows. Now, Alana learned it from her friend, who presumably learned it from their friend, and they learned it from someone else, and they told 2 friends, and then those friends told 2 friends, and so on and so forth. So it's to use hair gel through your brows as like a soap brow style product. So it's a clear gel that I'll use to brush up my brow hairs in an attempt to make them look more bushy and beautiful. Now, I picked up the travel size of this gel, as you saw there. Don't buy the full size. I don't think you could ever in a million years use up the full size using it, for this purpose. And it's very affordable, buying the travel size. So then I'm using a disposable mascara wand or spoolie, whatever you want to call it, to run it through all my brow hairs. A few years ago, like years and years, Sam Chapman started using Pear's soap in her brows, and my mind was blown. 1, because I liked the way it looked, but 2, also because I was like, what the heck do you mean putting soap in your brows will make them stay in place? And next thing you know, it's very trendy, and you see products like soap brows on the market. So I rushed right out and went to my local dollar store and found Pear's soap, which is a clear glycerin-based soap that Sam was using. And try as I might, I just could never get the hang of it, and it just never looked as good as Sam's. So once I've got my brow hairs standing at attention, I will lightly fill them in using 2 more products. So first, to fill in shape, I'm going to take my trusty Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Caramel, and I'll use that to draw the shape of my brows. And I am drawing in hair-like strokes, but this product isn't as thin and precise to do a full brow in individual hairs. So I will then go lightly over it with a brow pen in a slightly darker brown color to add some more dimension and depth. This is also, the style of Katie Jane Hughes brows. And I know that Katie Jane Hughes uses Glossier Brow Flick. Sam Chapman, I know now, uses the MAC Shape and Shade pens. And I have tried for years to fill in my whole brows with just a pen in that style, but I've never been able to find a product that has the exact right color and thinness. So this combination of the gel and then the pencil and then a pen is working for me now. I like it. People at work were commenting on my brows, asking me, oh my goodness, how did you get them to look like that? And you know, I told them all my secrets and told them to subscribe to my channel. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of contour and then we'll probably skip blush altogether. Yeah, so I'm going to use my Fenty Beauty Matchstick here in the shade Amber. And first I'm going to warm it up on my hand and then press it into my beauty blender and then apply it to the skin. I'm going to focus mostly on my cheekbones, and I like this method of putting it on my hand and then the sponge and then my face. Because I find if you go straight in with the stick, it could disturb the foundation underneath a little bit. And yes, unpopular but true, I will not be using blush. I think that the bit of color that this contour product adds is enough for me with this look, and I'm just liking the way my skin looks otherwise. Don't worry, I will highlight though. I'm not totally nuts. I haven't totally lost it. So next I will do some concealing. Firstly, I'm going to take my Pat McGrath concealer. Like I said, I'm fancy. And I'm going to use this on some spots that I have around my chin and jawline. And you really only need the teeniest bit of this foundation, this concealer. A little bit really goes a long way. So I'll lightly apply over the spots I'd like to conceal and then blend out with my beauty blender. Now for under my eyes, I'm going to mix a bit of this Pat McGrath concealer with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, which is in the shade 5, and that will lighten and brighten the Pat McGrath concealer for use under my eyes. The shade of the Pat McGrath concealer I have there is shade 3. Now, because I'm using a mix of two concealers, I'm going to apply this with a brush. So with this large Bold Metals synthetic eyeshadow brush, I'll easily be able to mix the shade that I want and then apply to my under eye area. I will then finish off with my beauty blender to make sure there are no harsh edges and all the concealer is blended in. For my highlight today, I'm going to use my Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate palette, but just use the Illuminate highlighter there. This is what I use when I want my skin to look rich. Yeah, this is just the best naturally beaming, high shine highlight product I've ever used. I like also that it doesn't add any additional color to my skin, just that shining, beaming light. So I'm going to continue to try and use up this sample of the Milk Makeup Kush mascara that I got in my Sephora birthday present. So generous of them. I really like this mascara. It was the first time I'd tried it, receiving it in my gift. It's really voluminous and like full on, makes my lashes look nice and matte, not too shiny. But I do find that it transfers quite a bit on my lower lashes. So to combat that, I will use the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara on the lower lashes. Because the MAC mascara has this teeny tiny little skinny wand, skinny legend, so you can really get into the lower lashes without getting mascara everywhere. And I believe it's what's referred to as a tubing mascara, so it doesn't transfer, and it lasts really long, but then comes off easily with warm water. Okay, I'm going to take my 217 and just do a final blendy blend, and those are the eyes. Done. Look at that TV magic. All of a sudden my hair is dry. And we're back to finish off with my lips. pardon me. So finally for lips, I'm going to keep it simple, stupid. Keep it stupid, simple. With just a little bit of MAC Spice lip liner. The spice. I'm trying to force myself to use lip liner more. That might sound a little silly, but it's just a product that I've always struggled with. And a technique that I find is working a bit more for me these days is to very lightly begin to define the shape, which you can see me doing there, and really try to work it into the lips. And I will then blend it and kind of buff it with a brush. And this is actually, it's a Sonia Kashuk brush from Target, and I've had it for many years. I believe it's supposed to be like an eye brush, maybe a pencil-y type brush, but it's my favorite for the lips. Yeah, lip liner is one of the products that I find I need to really fiddle with a bit to get it to look right on me. I can't just swipe it on full on and have it look the way I want. But I really love the color of this legendary MAC lip liner. It's so versatile and it plays well with others. On its own, lightly applied, such as here, it's a great light, warm, nudie wash of color. If you apply it more heavily and opaque, it turns into a much deeper, more brownish 90s color. And you can also wear it to help define the shape of even a red lipstick, like I did in my Moira Rose inspired makeup and hair tutorial video. If you haven't checked that out, check it out! So there you go, another great look from the Haus Lab Stupid Love palette. I think you could wear this anytime for a bit of everyday drama, but it's also a great look to wear on your upcoming holiday Zoom calls. We bring you the festive special. Thanks for watching. Hope you stay safe and warm. Bye-bye.